short-term deal to keep the government open. The Senate approved the continuing resolution last night with a little more than 26 hours to spare. It will keep the federal government running through February 18th. A group of GOP senators threatened to hold up the deal because they wanted to get rid of the Biden administration's vaccine rules for companies with more than 100 employees. A federal court has already put those rules on hold. For more, I want to bring in Marianne Levine. She is a reporter covering the Senate for Politico. Marianne, welcome. So how did Senate leaders maneuver around the Republicans who were threatening to sink this deal?
So it was a tough situation for Senate leadership, and we weren't sure how the deal was going to come together. But basically, what they decided to do was to give Senators Mike Lee and Roger Marshall an amendment vote ahead of final passage of the government funding bill on whether to defund President Joe Biden's vaccine mandate. Now, that vote failed, but it satisfied Senator Mike Lee and Senator Roger Marshall's demands for a vote ahead of the final vote to fund the government.
Well, you know, it seems as though we get to these situations time and time again. Do you foresee a time in the near future when Congress will pass an actual budget rather than these short-term continuing resolutions?
It's hard to say. Democrats definitely want a negotiation with Republicans on this, but the Republicans don't have too much interest in trying to negotiate new funding levels because, as you may know, the level of funding that the government approved last night was basically established under the Trump administration. So it's in Republican interest to continue the funding levels that they negotiated last year. And so I think we'll have to see. Appropriations committee leaders say that they want a deal, but we've seen this consistent pattern in Congress where there's just a tendency to keep funding levels where they are and to kind of kick the can down the road.
Well, the next issue is raising the debt ceiling before December 15th. Where do negotiations stand on that?
The negotiations right now seem like they're purely between Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now, it's interesting because the tone of the issue has really changed. Back in October, Leader McConnell and Leader Schumer were at each other's throats about which party had the responsibility to raise the debt limit. We're now in December. 10 Republicans agreed to let Democrats move forward for a temporary suspension back in October, but we're now back in a similar situation we were just a couple weeks ago. And right now, most members of the Senate don't know what McConnell and Schumer are going to do in the end. Democrats have insisted they don't want to use the so-called reconciliation process under which they would raise the debt limit along party lines. McConnell has insisted that he will not provide Republican votes to move forward on the debt limit, but it is a positive sign that Schumer and McConnell are both talking to each other. That didn't happen a couple weeks ago, earlier this fall. And so I think we're just waiting to see what the two leaders ultimately decide. There was some discussion about including the debt limit in the National Annual Defense Policy Bill, but House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy basically said that is a no-go. So we're a little bit in the dark still about what the two leaders are going to do, but it is a positive sign that they are talking, and the tone has drastically changed from back in October when we were looking at this issue.
Right, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he still believes the Senate can pass President Biden's social and climate spending bill by Christmas Day. How reasonable is that goal?
It's hard to say right now. I mean, Schumer is telling his Democratic colleagues privately that he's eyeing the week of December 13th to pass the social spending bill. Now, the process itself does not actually take that long. So if Democrats began the process that week, they would likely be done by Christmas. But the question, of course, is there's several outstanding issues. For example, the parliamentarian still has to go through the bill and take out any language from the House that might not comply with Senate rules because of the wonky process Democrats are using to pass this without GOP votes. We also don't know where Senator Manchin is, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer doesn't have a tendency to put legislation on the floor unless he knows that it's going to pass. And Senator Manchin has not committed to advancing the legislation. Democrats, of course, need his vote because the Senate is evenly split. So a lot of this, like so many other issues in a 50-50 Senate, is going to come down to Manchin and whether he is also ready to move forward.
Something that we've heard time and time again as well. Marianne Levine, good to have you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.